Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today I'll talk about the one time my manager got into a fight in my store, and at the end of it, he did lose the fight. It was pretty insane. So, for some context, a couple of months ago, I was working at a pizza place, right? And so this pizza place wasn't at the best part of town, I should say. It was like more in between, like the ghetto area, but then you also had like the good fancy area. It was like in between, but we were more on the ghetto side. And behind our store, there was like a lot of wood, so a lot of homeless people lived around the store, so it was like a common occurrence when we ever had like a crackhead come in or just someone insane who was like looking for something. So yeah, I also had about one guy that came in with a shovel looking for the One Piece, but that's a whole different story for a different day. But let's get back into the main story. So for privacy reasons, I'm gonna call my GM David. So me and David had like a really good relationship, and when David came into the store, he was always like boastful, I should say. He was always talking about how he was an ROTC, that he trained with cops, that he also knew military training, that this man knew karate. Apparently, this man knew so much about hand-to-hand combat, and he was a god apparently when it came to hand-to-hand combat. However, most of us believed him because, why not? The guy saying it, it must be true. The guy was pretty big. I wouldn't say muscular, but he had a bigger build. Guy looked strong, and he hit the gym a lot, and he was like, fit, you should say. However, one day I was a driver, so a little bit more reference. I was a manager at my store at the time. However, my driver called out, and so our GM decided to pull a double. Well, I became a driver. I got paid a little bit extra. You know what I mean? Getting that little bread, trying to make that dough so I can continue on with my days and struggling financially. But it's okay. So enough about the jokes. Let's get back to the story. So as I'm like leaving the back area of my store, I should say, like to the front, I had to use the restroom. So as I'm passing the front, I can hear my GM talking to a customer, but from what I saw, I wasn't paying attention. But from what I saw, they were like giggling, laughing, they were having a good time. So I'm like, you know what, normal customer interaction, why would I care? So I go into the bathroom, right? But as I come out the bathroom, all I see is an open pizza box soaring across the sky, and it just hits my manager. Well, it wasn't bad to hit my manager, but my manager like kind of like pushed it, but still some of the pizza slices smacked him across the face, and some pizza slices went back to the lady. And this is where like the whole event kind of happened from where I saw it. So for what I believe that happened was like the lady, her credit card declined, and he was like, hey, I can't give you the pizza, but we can set it over here where you go look for payment. And she was like so insistent on taking the pizza with her while she went to go get a card. But he was like, ma'am, I can't do that. I apologize. So that frustrated her, and kind of like, she threw the pizza at him. She did assault him first, which was, not the best thing to do if your card declines. You can be like, hey, yeah, I might not have the money. Give me a second, I'll come back, I'll go get a different card. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but she decided to make it a big of a deal, obviously. And so when he gets hit with the pizza, he like pushed the box in the air away from him, and so some of the slices like landed. So she took that as a fighting spirit. This lady was so flabbergasted that this man decided to block pizza coming at him, and like decided to push it away while it was in the air, so all the slices went to hit him. Mind you, this pizza came out fresh, so you could tell that he was in pain with the burning, and it was pretty bad. I believe he got like a little bit of like burn. How to say? Not first degree. Well, whatever the degree of burn was, it wasn't bad, but it like you could tell it was painful. And so this lady decides to grab the pizza barehanded, and I know it hurt her because you can tell in her face that it hurt more grabbing the pizza, and she decides to throw it at his face. And he just stands there, takes it, and he's just like standing there like he doesn't care. And he's like, ma'am, may you please leave the store? Because obviously, that's the best way to do it. Even though customers and people tend to be assholes, you just have to take it sometimes. And so he's like, ma'am, please leave the store, please. And I'm looking at David, right? And I'm like, like, how is this guy calm? I would have lashed out by now. And so she was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring my son to whoop your ass. And so as she's leaving, he decides to mock her and starts like, what did he do? He grabbed his hands and held him like a cup, like saying he got balls or something like that. I don't know what the meaning was, but apparently she knew what the meaning was, and she took it like the biggest insult known to mankind. And she's like, okay, I'll be back with my son. In retrospect, we should have taken that threat seriously, but we didn't. And this is where we messed up as a store, and it got pretty insane after that. So Ashley leaves, I'm on the call with the cops, I'm telling them, hey, we had this lady, she just assaulted my GM, I kind of need a unit down here so we can resolve this. So this lady apparently lived 3 minutes from the store, because when she leaves, literally 3 to 4 minutes go by, she comes back with her son. But when I see her son, I am in shock, because I know her son, not know him, but I knew what school he went to. And I told the cops, it's like, hey, this guy goes to this school. Like, they're like, do you know his name? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, it's okay. Like, we're not gonna tell him anything. Like, dude, I'm not scared of the kid. Like, I'm really not. But whatever. So I'm like, well, this guy's on the football team. He's a linebacker. Kid was pretty big. I would say more chubby than fit, but he was a linebacker. That's all I knew about the kid. So he comes in, and this kid is snarling. Well, this man started growling at some point. I swear to God, dude, he was a dog in a sense. This kid got on all fours, came in the store. He laid out the biggest ground known to mankind. This man was ready to rumble. I don't know, man. But he comes in, and this kid is pissed. He's like, who assaulted my mom? And we all look at each other like, no one touched your mom, dude. Like, no one touched her. And like, we're trying to tell this kid, hey, dude, nobody touched your mom. But you can see like the reasoning in his face, like he's starting to listen. But then his mom comes in, and with like authority, she's like, it was him. And she points at David. And we all look at David, fuck. And this kid just starts swinging. Like, he throws the first punch. David turns around in a kind of motion to like block the punch with his shoulder. But then this kid just grabs him from like the bag, lifts him up, decides to slam him, starts punching him. And as I'm about to go in to like help David get this kid off him, I'm like, wait, this kid is 17. And so what David does in retaliation, he like picks up the kid and like pushes him back and was ready to punch him. And I was like, yo, he's 17. And that's when David's like, shit, I can't hit this kid. Because if he hits the kid, he can go to jail for that, because I believe that's like assault to a minor. I don't know. The state of Florida is weird. Like, even though a kid can attack you first, you can't throw hands because they're not mature or they're not, thinking straight. Even though the kid was taller than him and he was bigger than him, it makes absolutely no sense. So then at that point, David had to take all like the punching, the slamming, because he can't touch this kid. Even if you try to restrain the kid, we can still get in trouble for that, but whatever. So obviously David has to take all the punishment from this kid. And then at some point this kid grabs David, picks him up, and slams him through like a wooden cover for a trash can. And you can tell that's painful because obviously it's made out of real wood and it has like metal inside it. David just goes straight through it, and we're like, holy shit. And then I guess once the mom realized I was on the phone with the cops and I was like, yeah, we need somebody down here ASAP, it escalated like quickly. The mom was like, let's go. I can't say the name's kid for, I believe it's legal reasons, because this kid was tried and this is the whole story. I'll get back to that towards the end. So this kid and his mom like starts walking to the car. And I'm following them on the phone with the cops. I'm like, yeah, they're trying to get in this Honda, their plate number is 12345, and the kids are just like charging at me. I'm like, dude, if you come to me, I'm going to flat you. I'm going to put you on the ground. And this kid's like, really? I'm like, really? And so this kid starts charging at me. And I pull out my pocket knife. I'm like, dude, I'm going to put you down like a dog. And I guess he saw that I was being serious, or I guess he just didn't want to have to deal with me possibly stabbing him. So this kid's like, yeah, whatever. And he gets in his mom's car and they leave. So after about literally 20 minutes after I told the cops, hey, there's a fight, they're assaulting my GM, they decided to show up. And they're like, where are they? And we're like, bro, it's been almost a whole 30 minutes. They're not here. And the cop is like, oh, okay. And they do like, they do their investigating, their reporting. And I tell the cops, I'm like, hey, this kid goes to this school. He's on the football team, And they're like, do you know him? I was like, I don't know him, but I know he goes to that school. They're like, do you know his name? I'm like, I actually don't know his name, whatever. And they're like, oh, don't be scared, it's okay. And I'm looking at the cop, I'm like, dude, I'm not scared of the kid. I could take him on a fight. Thing is, I just don't know his name. The cop was like, okay. I'm like, bro, okay, whatever, really? And so, thanks to our district manager, he was able to pull up like the credit card she used. I didn't know they could do this, but they put up her credit card and they ran it through the system and they found out they could deliver at some point. So these dumbasses decided to do a delivery with the same card with their address, location, and so we had it. And so we gave it to the cops and whatnot. And let's just say my GM took a picture of their address, and let's say the kid learned to listen outside of school. I'm not gonna get into detail. That's not my issue. The kid learned to listen outside of school. And when it came to inside of school, I believe he was kicked off the football team. He was suspended. I'm pretty sure he went to court as well. I believe he got arrested because I went to the school. I'm like, hey, I have this information about this kid. This is his mother's name, his address, his school ID. I basically have everything because we were able to run like a full background check inside the store. We got everything. And so, you know, the police officer was like, do you know this kid? I was like, no, but I know how he looks like. And so the police officer go gets the kid. They arrest him. They take him to the jail. He gets booked. I believe he was charged with assault, destruction of property. The owner of the store was pinning this kid with everything he could. And yeah, let's just say this kid is not gonna have too much of a good future. If I'm correct right now, he's in jail because of all of this, and I still think he's pending court. However, he is getting charged with a lot of things. That's pretty bad for your record. Anywho, that's the story. It was pretty crazy. I wish you guys were there because you guys would have saw it. You guys would have saw the shock in my face. And I was just saying, like, what do I do? Anyways, besides that, that's what happened, guys. And I have a lot more crazy stories. I believe I have 2 more fight stories in my store. My store was insane. Like, there was a lot of fights there. There's a lot of fights outside my store. And like I said, at some point, some guy came in with a shovel looking for the One Piece. But yeah, that's besides the point. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe. I'll get more content out for you guys. And yeah, if you guys don't subscribe, your mom's a hoe, and have a nice day.